Hi, and welcome to Yin. In this class, we are staying on our backs for basically the whole time, but you do need a couple of things, or I would recommend a couple of things. One is a strap or something that can resemble a strap, so a belt or even a t-shirt will do. And then I'm also using a bolster in quite a lot of the positions, so a sofa cushion or a firm pillow can also do the job here. And we're gonna start on the bolster. So I'm gonna put it long waist this way. If you do have a strap or a belt, we can help the hips relax a little bit. So I'm gonna loop my strap and bring it over so it's around my hips. We're gonna come into a butterfly position. So then I will bring that strap around the feet like that. So it's in front of or on the inside of my thighs. And then from there, you can tighten it as much as you feel like you can for the heels to be closer to your groin. We are gonna lay back with this. So I have the strap quite far down towards my sacrum so it's not up into my mid back or lower back. So the bolster is gonna be all the way up against your lower back. Lay on top of it to get a bit of an extension in the spine, and then you can open up the arms to the side and just wiggle yourself into a preferred position here. Close down the eyes. This is where we are tuning in. So as always, start by just noticing the breath and get in contact with it. See how deep you can send it down into the abdomen and then back up and out through the nose. Feel as though the shoulders and arms are melting off the bolster on either side. And the knees are melting heavy down towards the floor, as well as the hips release. We're going to work a little bit with the pranayama called box breath. And we're going to breathe basically in a box. So each side of the box has 4 counts. So we breathe in for 4, we hold for 4, we exhale for 4, and then we hold for 4. So let's try that together. Exhale fully wherever you are. Empty the belly and the lungs. And then start breathing in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold again. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom. 2, 3, 4. Keep going in your own time. If you want to add on counts, you can. If you feel like the breaths became a bit short, you can definitely slow down the counts or add on more. But keep each one the same length. So we're drawing this box with our breath. this square where each side of the box is the same length. You can even visualize as you breathe in the line being drawn from the bottom corner to the top corner. And as you hold the breath at the top, the line being drawn across from the top corner to the other top corner. And as you exhale, it gets drawn down to the bottom corner. And when you hold at the bottom, the line draws across and forms the full square. One more cycle of this breath. Then just let that go. Come back to your neutral breath. Just notice any changes in your being after the pranayama has finished. And then you can start to move into the hands and feet. Bend the elbows in so that you can support yourself on your elbows as you tuck the chin to come up to a seated position. If you have the strap around your legs, just move it for now to the side. And then turn with your right hip, or whichever hip really, we're going to do both sides, with one of your hips up against the bolster. So the legs are in this mermaid position where the front leg is, or the leg closest to the bolster is at the front, and the other one is bent behind. And we're going to twist towards the bolster. Try to get the chest facing the bolster as much as you can. And from here, we're going to move into a very gentle twist. So walk the hands down so that you can lay down onto your bolster. And you might even be able to turn your head away from your legs, looking towards the other side. And this is where we're going to stay for the next few minutes. Just in a very easy and gentle twist. You can close the eyes. And don't think about having to do anything here. Just by relaxing into this position, our body will start to soften. And by softening, it will start to deepen. Check in with your shoulders. If your shoulders are holding tension, let them just fall forwards and down. Breathing into the belly for another minute or so here. Take your last 3 deep breaths here. And then you can slowly start to come up. We're going to keep the front leg where it is, stretching out the other leg. Move your bolster to the inside of that leg. We're going to come into a side stretch. So the bolster can also be on top of that leg if you need a little bit more height in this stretch. And then place your elbow on the bolster, bring the other arm up and overhead. See if you can interlace your hands, and then just rest the head, or the side of your head, into that bottom hand. And we're going to open up the elbows, look up towards the ceiling. So we're moving into a side stretch here and opening up in the chest. Grounding the opposite hip down into the floor. Make sure that you're not lifting up your sit bone. And again, feel free to just close the eyes. If this position gets really heavy for your top arm, if it gets super hard to keep that elbow out, feel free to just release it down, preferably behind your back. And again, we're just taking deep and slow breaths here. Let's take 5 more slow breaths. Maybe you can count again, this time with the inhale being about 4 or 5 counts and the exhale being 5 or 6 counts. So we're lengthening the exhales slightly. And really gently lift yourself up and out of that position. We're going to use the bolster again, move it to the other side, place it across the mat next to your hip this time. We're going to come into a more restorative side stretch. So I see where you would like this bolster to be. I like it sort of right underneath my ribs, a little bit down towards my waist. And then I'm going to stretch my arms up this way and my legs out the other way. Maybe have your bottom leg a bit bent, and you can also reach your bottom arm forwards if that feels nicer. Just move up or down a little bit until you can find a comfortable position of the bolster under you. And the hand that reaches over your head, crawl those fingertips far away from you to really open up that space under the arm, so in the armpit area. And let's see if you can find some breath there. So we're just surrendering the body over that bolster. Don't think of holding anything in place here. Let's again take 5 more breaths here. Really try to find the inhales in the side body of that side that is stretching for you, expanding the ribs upwards and finding space between the hip crease and the lowest ribs as well. And then gently place the hand of your head in front of your face, and just help your way up and out of this position. We're moving on to the other side. So I'm just going to move my bolster to this side, the long way on the mat. Flip your legs around into this mermaid position. And then twist the chest towards the bolster as you start to lean forwards and look the opposite way if you can. If not, just keeping that head facing the front leg is fine. If you have the ability to look away to the other side, do that. And then just let the body fully surrender into the bolster. Let the breath go as neutral. But whenever you find your thoughts drifting away, deepen your breath a couple of times to draw the focus back into the body. Last 5 deep breaths here. And gently moving your way up. Push the hands into the floor, stretch out your opposite leg and move the bolster either on top or in front, wherever you feel like you need it for support. And then bring your elbow down, other arm up and overhead. Clasp the hands and let the hand rest into the palm. And try to twist the chest open, open the elbow towards the ceiling, leaning back slightly. So it's more of a back bendy position than a forward fold position. Really getting into the side body. And then whenever you land in your position, close the eyes, focus in on the breath. Feel that the hip on the opposite side of the stretch, or the opposite side of where you're leaning to, is dropping down into the floor. So see if you're holding tension in that side of the hip. And see if you can get really heavy and soft, dropping that sit bone down into the floor as you stretch away from the seat, creating as much length in the side body as you can. And if your top arm does get tired, feel free to release it and drop it behind your back. So just do that to make sure that the chest stays open, that you're not rounding forwards into a forward fold, but staying nice and sideways. Take 5 more breaths here. And then really slowly start to release the arms, make your way up and out of this position, moving the bolster towards the other side, placing it across the mat for your side stretch on the other side. So wiggle your way into this position, stretching the bottom arm either long or reaching it towards the front, but the top arm wants to reach up and overhead. And I also like to stretch that top leg away from me, but keeping the bottom knee bent for support. And once you have wiggled into a position that feels good, so if the bolster or whatever you have under you feels like it's in the wrong place, just move up and down a little bit. So I have it right underneath my rib cage here. So not into any of the soft parts like my waist or my armpit. And then close the eyes and deepen the breath into that side of your body that's stretching. Feel the expansion happening with the inhale. And a soft fall back down with the exhale. Taking 5 long breaths more here. Really keep them focused inwards. Try to avoid the attention being pulled outwards into a different place and time. Let the breath draw you back into the body and the sensations and the movements of the body. And then gently place that hand that went over your head down in front of your chest and push yourself up from your side stretch. We have one more stretch to do. Keep the bolster where it is, swing your legs over, and then bring your hips quite far over. So I'm sitting sort of on the other side of it, not right on top, so that I can lean back, stretch my legs out on the other side, and feel really nice and supported underneath my sacrum and my glutes. So the bolster is not in my lower back, pushing into my spine. If it's too much with the legs straight, you can either bring them into a butterfly position or bring the knees to face the ceiling. If that feels okay with the legs straight, you can reach the arms up and overhead and give yourself a full front body stretch. Then let the shoulders fall heavy down onto the mat. Let the hips be heavy but supported upwards by the bolster. And then let the feet fall heavy down on the other side. So you should feel quite evenly distributed on either side of the bolster. If you don't, and you feel like you have to strain any part of your body to stay in this back bend, move one way or the other to see if you can find that nice counterbalance of just being able to fully relax down. Imagine that with each inhale, you can breathe your awareness into the body. And as you exhale, you gently and softly invite it to stay. And just do that with each of these last breaths here. And then, as you finish your last exhale, just draw the knees back up towards the ceiling, place the feet on the floor. We're just going to lift the hips and roll the bolster down so that it lands underneath our knees. So I want to invite you to find this long diamond shape with the legs, sort of like a butterfly, but just very, very narrow, the shape inside of the knees. So the knees gets to rest out, heels are touching or close together, and then drop the palms facing up, reaching the hands slightly away from the body. Coming into your Shavasana. Just taking these last couple of breaths, this last couple of minutes to sink the body heavy into the floor. Imagine that with the exhale this time, you're releasing something out, letting the body get softer, sinking deeper into the floor. Becoming heavy as if you want to make an imprint of your body and limbs where they meet the ground. And you want that imprint to be as deep as possible. Only thing here that wants and needs your focus is your body and your breath. So whenever your mind wanders off, which it does in these times of stillness, keep breathing your awareness and your attention in and allow it to stay as you exhale. Take your last 3 deep breaths here. And then you can gently start to move into the fingers and into the toes, ankles, and your wrists. If you want, you can stretch the arms overhead, push the backs of the knees into the bolster, and slightly lift the hips off the floor. Get a straight line from your ankles to your shoulders. Take another breath in here. And then release the hips back down, hugging the knees into the chest. And give yourself a really warm, loving hug here. A hug that you would give to someone in your life that you love deeply, someone that you care for, someone that you wish all the good things in life for. A hug that you would give to someone you want to be happy and content, someone you believe in, someone you know can do great things, that are brave, caring, loving. Make that hug yours today. And then you can roll over to one side and just use your hands to push yourself up into a seated position. Find a cross-legged seat. Bring the hands to your heart center, palms to touch, eyes gently closed. And just for a moment, notice the lightness in the body here, as if all that heaviness that we sunk into the mat are left there. We could come up and out of it with a lighter body, a lighter mind, more space, and more patience. We've released the heaviness onto the ground, and then we can move up and away from it, out into our day or our evening with more ease. And from here, bowing the head to the fingertips in gratitude to ourselves, to the practice, and to each other. Namaste.